Pretty often people say to me, who is this quote unquote black girl from Boston with the Massachusetts suburban accent? Well, the best way that I describe myself is the conservative, psychic, musical goth. That's how I describe myself. Now, when I talk about the word black, I usually put it in quotes along with the word white, I put in quotes, and brown, I put in quotes. One thing about the unique ability that I have of being able to conversate with my ancestors just by starting a conversation out in the open with them is that they've taught me a lot of things. Now, my ancestors are ancient Egyptians, and they've stressed something to me that I've mentioned in other videos, that they never told me that I was quote unquote black. And they wanted me to understand that when I am grouped into a color category, like most of us are in the United States of America, that's a government thing. That's something that the government has put together that groups us into these categories, which is where they expect us to think the way that group thinks, act the way that group thinks, and believe things that they expect for that group to believe. All of my life, I've considered myself an absolute individual. It was something to the point where I couldn't stand watching the news, and when I would see someone who was quote unquote black speaking and saying, you know, black people, we as black people, we are this way or we feel this way, I would always shout at the television to say, don't speak for me because I don't feel that way. And I've been this way all of my life. So when it comes down to the conservative, psychic, musical goth, here's where this comes in. I'm conservative because I'm a proud Republican. And what I can say about being a Republican is that I put my family, I put Ra, God, and my spirituality first. And I feel like that's extremely important. And when it comes to the front runner that we have now for the Republican Party, I'm excited about it. And I really would like to see Vivek Ramaswamy. I'd like to see him as vice president this go round. Vivek is actually royal in Ra's bloodline. So a lot of the things that he believes are very, very similar to what I believe when it comes to family and the way that people should be able to live as citizens of the United States of America. I think that this team together, they have like the ability to find extreme success in getting the United States whipped back into shape the way that it used to be. And just when things were easier and when things were more in order, I think they can do it. In regards to my psychic abilities, they are very, very unique. A lot of times people get them confused because having an ability to be able to literally conversate with spirits and ghosts just by talking, again, openly to my ancestors, to my passed on loved ones, this is something that people aren't used to. So a lot of times they get it confused and they start thinking that there's witchcraft involved and that there's magic and all kinds of weird things and conjuring up spirits and candle work and weird things like that and chants and stuff. There's none of that. Ever since I was 2 years old, my parents, they have stories to where they used to literally pull me out from under my bed because I'd be screaming and crying. I was seeing ghosts. And this went on for a while. And it happened when I was living in Massachusetts in an apartment when I was 2. And when we moved from the apartment, that stopped. And again, it's something where it's a natural, very rare ability that is very weird to people because they're like, how is she doing that? I'm not doing anything. All I do is live, and I'm able to literally conversate with ghosts. So that's the difference about it. That's the unique thing about it. All right, now when it comes to my musical aspect of it, I am someone who loves rock music. I have been doing rock music in my band For over 20 years now, rock, the genre of rock, has been where I've been most comfortable. I've listened to a lot of bands throughout my life. I've done amazing, fun things like the Vans Warped Tour. I've done that, some cool MTV gigs, all kinds of cool things. But definitely it's something that people are shocked about because of the fact that they see me and I'm quote unquote black. But it's something that people dig a lot. And again, I felt very, very comfortable the entire time that I've been doing this type of music, and it's never ever been any type of issue for me doing that. Finally, when it comes down to goth, yes, I am a goth. You may have noticed that I wear a lot of black. I love wearing the color black. But one thing that you must not get confused about is I am of the light. And one thing that is also interesting is that when it comes to goths, did you know that there is, it originally started in ancient Egypt. So it's no wonder that I'm goth the way that I am and so passionate about it. And many goths are actually empaths, just like I am, and they're very, very psychic. So that's just a fun fact for you to understand. And one of the things that I've done, or a couple of things, being that I'm so passionate about goth music and goth fashion, I actually had a fashion store that sold goth clothing. And I spent a lot of time conversating with other goths that are just like me, helping them to feel confident about who they are, and just knowing that being different as a goth is something like really powerful. And it also is something where they should notice the other attributes about them that make them so unique. So my message to you in this video is to let you know that it's so important to be who you are, no matter how weird things sound, because, you know, again, being a conservative, psychic, musical goth, being someone like that, all of those are things that are not ordinary. But I'm not ordinary. I'm very different, and I love to be around people who are very unique and very different. So be proud of who you are. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.